Hey, Laura, how you doing?
Hey, Colin. Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm sick.
Yeah. This is one of those times where we set a time to record. Like we were going to record today, yet somehow because of the illness, this still feels like a last minute thing that we threw together, even though we agreed on this like over a week ago.
Yeah.
The impetus for getting through this so quickly is, one, we don't know if you're going to feel well, and two, I'm eating a fucking bomb of Chipotle right now, and it's going to knock me out. And I did this yesterday because I got multiple Chipotle gift cards for Christmas.
Glorious.
And so I went on keto for a while. Keto is a diet that makes it very easy to cut weight. It is not necessarily a healthy diet. And for December, I went hard in the opposite direction with lots of cookies, bread, and taco shells. So I'm going to do keto again for a little bit tomorrow, just to I think of keto as the opposite of gorging. Like, if I eat normally, I'm fine. Yeah. But if I'm going to eat the amount of cookies that I just ate, this is the opposite.
That makes sense.
So this Chipotle is going to knock me the fuck out. I did it yesterday and I slept for 2 hours.
God, that sounds so glorious.
It was pretty good. My cat slept next to me the whole time.
That's great. I'm the kind of sick where I left work early yesterday. I'm feeling a lot better, but my brain is like pretty fried. And if I don't have a cough drop in my mouth, I can't stop coughing. But I came home early from work yesterday because I felt like absolute shit. And I lay down on the couch, like I put on pajamas and everything. I lay down under the blankets and I couldn't fall asleep. So I was just like lying in the couch by myself, just feeling like sick and sad. So I could have really used a big old Chipotle bomb to put me to sleep yesterday. That would have been great.
Yeah, because what you do with kids is, you rub a little whiskey on their gums to knock them out.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like salty queso. Puts me right out.
Yep.
Just right up in there.
God, that sounds so great right now.
Yeah, so this is the longest gap we've had in recording for a while. What was your holidays like? I feel like we texted the basics, but what you been through? We haven't had all of December. Yeah,
it was stressful leading up to it, but it ended up being a really nice time. Mm-hmm. I was super anxious about, I don't know, Charles and I have been together for 8 years, and we haven't figured out how to split families properly for holidays yet, which isn't super great. And so leading into Christmas, knowing that we weren't going to make anyone feel good enough, felt shitty.
Oh, no.
And this is the first year that I've really felt that way. I've kind of felt it before in the past a little bit, but I've always kind of been a little bit well, whatever, I'm only one person. Mm-hmm. But this year it was really incredibly stressful. But I was off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I drove down to my parents. Charles came after work and we had a really nice dinner with them and spent a couple hours just hanging out. My parents made a fire in the living room. It was very relaxing.
Nice.
Slept there. Woke up Christmas morning. Charles went to his mom's after dinner. Woke up and did presents and breakfast with my parents, and then drove up to Charles' sister's house where she had everybody for the day.
Nice.
So,
are you typically a holiday celebration, family gathering sort of person?
Is it what I want to do?
Yeah. God is watching.
I know. I'm feeling very this is recorded and someone could listen to this and then tell other people how I feel. I mean, I don't know. I really.
That's what a podcast is, definitionally.
Yeah. I really love spending time with my family, both sides. I hate that holidays are this up on a pedestal. There's only 3 days a year where you can get to blah, blah, blah and do that is what causes me so much anxiety, especially working in retail.
Yep. And
being married to someone that has divorced parents. So we have 3 sets of families to go to every single holiday.
See, if you were a child, that would mean you get 3 sets of presents. But since you're an adult, it's 3 times the responsibility.
Yeah.
The curve on that gets really fucked as you get older.
I mean, I do still get 3 sets of presents, and that's great, but not worth the anxiety. I would just rather hang out with everybody a couple times a year, not on holidays.
Yeah.
It's a time that feels very possessive for people, and that stresses me out because
it's the obligation that drives me nuts, because the obligation drives everything and it makes it stressful.
Right.
Because we've all made plans with friends, and then when the day comes, we're I don't really want to, and there's this anxious battle. This is that all year, every year, and it will never end, and a lot of money and familial respect is on the line.
And traveling.
Yeah. And it's just, the obligation is a big part of what it could be. It's literally a logical fallacy, the appeal to tradition.
Yeah.
It is literally a part of logic that philosophers say, that part doesn't work. even though it looks like it does. And people are like, okay, let's put trees inside.
Yep.
Which, I mean, if Rebecca really wanted a Christmas tree, and I was like, I don't care. So if you want it, you can do it. And she was not happy with me at first, but she did it.
Yeah.
And I think we came to an understanding. It was really helpful with her, too, because I don't like getting gifts. Again, there's an obligation and an anxiety there.
Yep.
So she and I set a $25, excuse me, Chipotle's fighting back. This is the, set a $25 gift limit. I just got the AirPods Pro. Yeah, AirPods Pro, Attorneys General. And the AirPods Pro, I always want to put them in the same pocket as my keys, but then they get scratched up, and that's happened with my last 2 pairs of AirPods. So I got in the habit of putting it in the same pocket as my phone, which is just like annoying.
Yeah.
So she got me a little AirPods case.
Nice.
And I usually don't like cases for anything, but this serves a distinct function, and I'm like, cool.
Hell yeah.
For her, I took her through all the Star Wars movies recently in anticipation for the wonderful film Episode 9. You can listen to the latest Common Briefing program and figure out how much we love that movie. But I bought her a stuffed porg, and she like cried with happiness and squeaked when she saw it because she loved the little puffins.
Nice.
So overall, it went well. But speaking of the familial obligation, I did go to my mom's. It was my mom and my stepdad, and my brother was supposed to get there with his fiance at noon, so it was going to be 5 of us there. And I get there at noon, and my brother's not there. A half hour later, my mom texts him. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm still at my fiance's family.
Yeah.
So, like, my mom was, like, so frustrated and upset. Understandable. And, I was there for 2 hours with just the 2 of them. I had a really nice time. Brother did not. He had not even left.
Yikes.
By the time that I was gone. And then I went to go see my brother and, like, my dad and my sister that weekend. And he, the whole time, was making these, like, under his breath remarks about, like, it's like, oh, why was she so upset? Why is this and that? And, like, he kept doing it the whole day. So before I left, I was like, no, hold on. You fucked up. You made this problem.
Yeah.
And they're like, but we didn't really want to go. And I'm like, then don't commit to it.
Then don't. Right.
Again, it's the obligation. Like, it creates this weird tension that people don't know how to reason with. Just don't do it. I did that with Thanksgiving. 2-3 years ago, I told my mom, hey, I'm not doing Thanksgiving anymore. And she was like, cool, I don't have to cook as much. And it's been fine. Aside from those quibbles, I have to say I had a nice time. I took a staycation because I had to use a ton of PTO in like a 3-week window because I started so late in the year and it doesn't roll over. So I haven't been doing a ton of work, just a lot of hobbies, a lot of stuff like that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's been kind of nice. Though the latest, I did the Dice Populi with you in it. Which I did that over the span of 4 days, literally recording it and then finishing it. And that was a lot of work. And the one that I just did this past week took me about 8 or 9 hours to edit. And next week, I have to edit an episode, and we're recording, I think, 3 episodes, hopefully in a session. So I might have swung the pendulum a little too hard in the other direction.
Whoops.
But so far, honestly, I think 2020 is going to be all right. Gonna be good.
Yeah,
I gotta figure out my goals for the year, because for 2019 my focus was podcasts, and you know what, I launched 2 extra podcasts, got like hundreds of new listeners. I did not quite reach my goal, which is not totally in my hands, but I kind of just want to double down on that for 2020. Like, I want to get shows to like thousands of listeners each, and like I have friends with ideas that want to do stuff, and I'm trying to kick them in the pants and be like, let's do it.
To actually make headway. Yeah. I mean, Dice Populi is definitely like your baby.
It is, yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of the some of the guys, Matt and Pat, whom you know, and then Josh, whom you don't. We had 4 of us in my house last week. We all got to hang out because everyone.
Oh, yeah, I saw the picture.
Around. Yeah, it was nice.
That was nice.
And then Matt, Pat, and I just sat in Taco Bell for like an hour and a half talking about what the fuck to do with this behemoth of a project we've started.
Yeah,
it's just a lot.
Yeah,
I've got people willing to help, which is
That's good. Yeah, that helps a lot. Duh, it's literally help.
It.
Oh, Jesus.
Pretty much. Oh.
This is the level that you're going to get from me today.
That's fine. Do you do like any sort of like resolution stuff, or like how do you, what does the new year symbolize to you, if anything?
Yeah, honestly, it really just doesn't. It's just a new thing.
It's January to 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sequel.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's bad that I don't like write down goals and stuff like that, but like, I don't know, my goals are always kind of the same, like be a little healthier, like take a little better care of my diabetes, and like have more time to myself. Like, and until I actually achieve those things.
What is this scale of diabetes care that I'm not aware of?
Don't be an idiot and like eat all the cheese because I know it's not good for me, but like I still want it. So I do it anyway.
I'm laughing at you, but I'm literally scooping like just like cups
literally
of
just
queso
melted
into
cheese.
Yes, yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a matter of like there was a while there where my blood sugar was getting really high after dinner, like almost every night. Mm-hmm. And part of it was that I was eating more than I sat down expecting to, which like, I mean, I'm a really good cook. So I sit down and make a good meal. All of a sudden I want seconds and I didn't plan for it,
Yeah.
So trying to stop that. And then also like acknowledging that like, if that's going to happen, I need to do more insulin, right? Like it's a stupid, simple thing, but I'm always afraid of doing too much for dinner because I usually fall asleep a couple hours after. And I don't want to wake up with my blood sugar low in the middle of the night. So it's partly fear. It's partly self-control.
So is there like a balancing act where you have to like, you know how the denial people have where like, I'm not going to have seconds. You have to like be really upfront with yourself about that.
Yeah.
That sounds awful. That denial's kind of where I live.
I'm sometimes okay with it, but like really most of the time I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm going to have like 1.5. And then I'm like, or 3. Whatever.
Because, like, yeah, if you ate breakfast the way I do, today you would have died because I woke up thinking, I'm just going to make a little something, something, and then I had 3 tacos.
Yep.
So it's just like,
yeah.
You can see why I need to go back on this diet for a little
bit. I do. 3 breakfast tacos is, yeah.
They were just regular tacos. We had leftover taco meat. I just made 3 whole, full.
That sounds great.
Sour cream and everything.
I made fajitas last night. It was a similar idea.
Fajitas are
it was so good.
So
I should send you this recipe. It's actually super easy. And like I was down to doing essentially nothing yesterday because I came home and I just was like dead.
Yeah.
But Charles had a really, really long, terrible day at work. And so it took like 15 minutes for me to just like cut chicken strips and put them in a bag with a bunch of seasoning and then let them sit. And when he got home, I just tossed them in a pan. So it's a good recipe.
That's good. I've been buying for the chicken stuff I've just been buying just breasts that have been cut into tenders just to cut down on prep. It's like a couple extra cents to get them that way.
Yeah.
But it's super worth it. It's just less time to handle.
Haven't found those. I keep on, like, I can see the breast tenderloins, but those have a weird, like, tendon in the middle of it or something that, like, if you don't, I don't know. It's weird and it's chewy and I don't like it. So I tend not to buy those.
No. These are literally, it's just like someone sliced up a breast into chicken tenders. That's literally all it is. So it's helpful. But I mean,
that sounds great.
I found them at Hannaford and at like Price Chopper Market 32. Do you have either of those things?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, down here we're Stop and Shop, ShopRite.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm ShopRite should have it. I'm kind of surprised to hear that they don't, but no.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to cook some of that maybe tonight because I've been making like a spaghetti chicken dish with like Italian cream sauce. That's been just like fucking awesome. But I bought spaghetti squash to try that instead. Because I've made this dish with spaghetti squash before and it's good, but
yeah,
no more carbs.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of spaghetti squash though. It's really good.
I was surprised because I don't like the taste of squash. And
spaghetti squash isn't very squashy though.
Not when it's done right. There was one time I made it and I think I either over-oiled it or undercooked it. I don't know what, but it came out like mushy. The strands were not super defined.
Ooh, yeah.
And that just tasted like squash. It tasted like it was the consistency of runny mashed potatoes and it tasted like squash. It was a bad time. It was a bad dinner. It didn't go well. But yeah, when it is spaghettified, which real word, by the way, I believe used to describe the physical strain on matter in black holes, spaghettification.
Okay.
But I don't think it applies to vegetables. So the spaghetti, when you spaghettify the squash with a fork, not a black hole,
it's not one of your standard kitchen tools.
Listen, you got me on the easy squeeze. Let's take it one step at a time. TM. So it's easy to just drown out the flavor.
Yeah.
Like, I find that when you bake spaghetti squash, if you just, like, you can't just slap butter on it and, like, lie to yourself saying it's pasta. Like, it's still definitely a vegetable. But, I find that with sufficient sauce and usually, like, enough of a protein. So I'll usually have, like, either a meat sauce, like a meat marinara sort of deal, or just, like, chicken on top of it as, like, a faux Italian dish. It's pretty okay.
I have 2 recipes that I really like with spaghetti squash. One of them is like, it's called spaghetti squash lasagna, but that's not what I call it because it's spaghetti squash with cheese and meat. Like, it's not lasagna.
Yeah.
But it's basically that. It's like marinara sauce, a little ricotta, little, I can't remember if it's turkey. I think it's ground turkey. And you like mix it up or whatever and then put mozzarella stuff. And it's just delicious. The other one is like chicken and pesto and like a bunch of cheese, which is really good.
I can see that being good. That's not too different from what I do. I'll put a little basil on it sometimes if I feel like I haven't, the other seasoning isn't pulling its weight because I don't measure anything ever. So, whoops. Rebecca can't cook when I'm in the kitchen because she's like, hey, I need like a third of a cup. I'm like, there's a half cup there. Just almost fill it. And she stares at me so angrily. Meanwhile, if I have to put in a third of a cup, I will just take a glass of water and literally eyeball it.
Oh, this is like a third of a pint glass. Does that count?
Yeah, that's pretty much the same, right? But I don't know. I have a decent sense of those things. I say right after I said that I somehow created mashed spaghetti squash. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong.
I mean, I made tilapia parm one time. That was a really, really bad decision. It was disgusting. I'll never do it again.
Wait, hold on. Okay, take me through this. What is this?
So this was like the first year that I lived in Albany. So it was many years ago at this point. And Charles was away. And so like I didn't have friends yet. I didn't know anybody. I was like sad and alone. And I didn't like...
Did you know me yet but weren't friends with me?
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Setting up a timeline in my brain.
Yeah.
You had no friends, but we were...
I think I had started working at Apple already, but like just.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that much going on like to cook with. Like my fridge wasn't full. It was like the day before grocery shopping day or whatever. But I had tilapia and I had Parmesan, or I had mozzarella cheese and some marinara sauce. And I was like, well, it works on like chicken. And so I made tilapia and I put marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese on it. And I don't know if you know this rule, but you don't put cheese on fish. It just isn't something that works.
I don't eat fish because I don't like fish. So I didn't know that rule. But when you said the words, my brain was like, yeah, that checks out.
Yep. It was disgusting. Sense. It was
oh god,
so bad.
I'm trying to imagine the smell right now.
It didn't smell terrible because it was like mostly just smelled like cheese.
It's the two stinkiest foods. Did they just cancel each other out?
Maybe I just forgot. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Clearly you didn't, because it's been 7 years and you're still sweating up at night over this regretful dish.
It was such a bad decision. Oh my god, it was so awful.
Oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna cook tonight though, just because like I should and I want to, but like Chipotle, man, I'm full. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I don't need it. And I bought some cookies because like I'm not gonna eat cookies for maybe a month or a couple weeks. I don't know how long. I'm not gonna do it. You're not supposed to do keto that long at a time. I went 3 months, which is like probably about as much as most people should do without taking special considerations. Or so I've been told by people who do keto a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just trying to soak in it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, my plan was to make a whole roast chicken tonight, but I don't know.
I'm not getting a full roast chicken vibe from you.
No.
It's not. Nope. I know that face. That is not a full roast chicken face.
No, we'll see. I gotta like feel it out. I did do my meal planning this morning. I like kind of woke up for like an hour or so and did my meal planning and made my grocery list and then fell back asleep, which was kind of good.
Yeah.
But that was... Charles like has been laughing at me all day. He's like, you can't make a decision today. I'm like, I really can't. He's like, what do you want for lunch? I'm like, I don't know, whatever. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah.
That's what
I
it's
want
like.
A soda. No, maybe I don't. He's like, do you want a soda? I was like, no. He's like, oh my God, I'm not asking you questions anymore. I'm just making decisions for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do. That's what happens when I get my migraines, which I haven't had a lot of them lately. But when they happen, my migraines don't start super painful. That's like a pretty like deep symptom. It has to be really bad for that to happen. But the migraines make me extremely foggy and dizzy, and I can converse with a person, but if I have to think about something beyond my reaction, it's kernel panic. It's pinwheel, and I can't do it. So Rebecca could say, how you doing? I feel like shit. Do you want food? Yes. What kind of food? Talk to me tomorrow. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And like I try to, when I sense it's coming on, I try to tell people, I'm like, in a couple minutes you need to make all the decisions. Like, I don't care, I will follow you. That's all I can do. It's really bad when it happens in grocery stores, which is rough because grocery stores, usually the air is pumping really hard and it's very dry, so that and there are like a lot of flat white fluorescent lights. So grocery stores can really set me off really quickly.
Yeah.
Even if I'm having a good day. That's not good when you're grocery shopping, which is 100% making decisions.
That's why I do all the decision making before I get to the grocery store, though.
I have tried to do that, and there's something about it that is unsustainable for my brain, because I'll get like super excited and I'll make a big list, something that I can like that's scalable, like I can come back to it over time and always deal with it. But then like my habits change, and then I don't want to update the list.
Well, see, you're doing it entirely wrong. You can't make a scalable grocery list. You have to do it in small chunks.
I have a hard enough time, like, doing things weekly is also really rough for me. I can do it with TV shows, because there's always, like, an end in sight. Like, hey, this is cool. Star Trek comes out this day. Do it next week. It'll be over in a couple weeks. But if I have to commit to doing something once a week, every week, within a couple weeks, I'll just be like, I don't wanna. Like, I need 1 week off, but 1 week off fucks you with stuff like this. Well, because the week off, then that's the week where I'm like, I didn't feel like cooking this week, so I'm just gonna get a lot of fast food, and I'm gonna order out a lot. And then after a week of that, you're like, this is so decadent and lovely. I will do this always.
See, what I do is that I eat out like twice, and I'm like, this is way too much. I have to go back to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's probably fair, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. Tomorrow is going to be the day where I get back on the responsibility horse.
Yeah.
Hiya.
That sounds terrible, but also right.
It's what needs to be done.
Speaking of Star Trek, though, Picard comes out real soon, huh?
Yeah. So, man, I got like mixed feelings, but I'm excited.
I'm cautiously nervous.
Yeah, me too, because I've been thinking back on Star Trek Discovery. I like Star Trek Discovery. I think it's a good TV show. It's got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of problems. Mostly, and this happened with Star Trek The Next Generation as well, in season 2 no less, where you had struggles in the writer's room where you were changing showrunners, people were getting fired, and then there was this weird thing where like Gene Roddenberry's lawyer was editing scripts. It was insane.
Oh, weird.
And then in season 3, they were like, nope, fuck it. These are the people in charge. Clear out the writer's room, start over.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like that purge might be happening with Star Trek Discovery, because in Star Trek Discovery, there were 2 showrunners, but they were yelling at people who worked on the show, so they got fired, which is the right thing to do when they are mistreating their employees. And then Alex Kurtzman stepped in. He's the producer. He also wrote Star Trek 2009. Hey, good job. Good movie. He also wrote The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Try again, buddy. Bad job.
Yeah.
So, like, he was the showrunner for the middle of it, and then he brought on another writer, Michelle Paradise. She wrote the season 2 episode where you find out Ariam, the augmented lady, where you learn all about her, and she, spoiler alert, beefs it at the end by getting blown out into space. Like, amazing episode.
Yeah.
It was her first time writing Star Trek, and that was great. It was a really good job.
It was a really good episode.
And then she became like co-showrunners with Alex Kurtzman at the end. So you had 4 different showrunners at different times in a season of TV based around a mystery. And when they paid off the mystery, it was kind of like...
weird. It was like there were 4 showrunners on the show.
Yeah, it really, like, at the final episode, it was thematically good. It was gorgeous. I love what actually happened and that they're moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
The thing is, the finale of Disco Season 2 made me really excited for Season 3, because season 2 was so messy and because things didn't line up so well.
Yeah.
So skip over to Star Trek Picard. I'm getting really inside baseball about this. I'm so sorry, everybody. Michael Chabon, he is an author. He is the showrunner. To my knowledge, there has been no turnover with writing staff, no significant turnover with writing staff. Patrick Stewart is involved, which could be good, could be bad. I don't know what hand he had in it besides like being a producer, like consulting.
Right.
Because I know that he had a voice in the creation of Star Trek Nemesis, which is not the most beloved entry in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So like Michael Chabon is a very good writer. He's written a couple shorts for Star Trek, and the ones he's done have been really good. He did Calypso, the one that was set like 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah, I like that one.
I forget the other one he did, but he's been doing a really good job with it. So I think that all this kind of loosey-goosey, the ends don't really meet up, even if the episodes are good, like the season doesn't tie together.
Michael Chabon is also writing some of the comics, isn't he?
I think he's involved. evolved. They do this weird thing because Kristen Beyer, she's the writer who sort of she's a writer on Star Trek Discovery and kind of runs the books in the comic books. So she sort of liaises between them. So there's a lot of communication between the ancillary writers and the show writers. But I don't know specifically if he's written like a Star Trek book or a Star Trek comic. I'd have to look it up. So I think that with Picard, we might avoid the behind the scenes issues that have made Discovery a messy show, but also the trailers really look like it's going to be kind of a spectacle.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, I think some of my favorite Star Trek, like, just isn't a spectacle. It, like, just is. Yeah. It feels like it's based in this, like, realistic world where, like, you know, obviously things are happening that we could never even imagine. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah. And
it feels like real life where, like, dramatic things sometimes happen and then sometimes they don't, instead of this being this, like, flashy mystery, like, oh, people are out to get us all the time.
Which, I mean, on its surface, like, I've been asking for a follow-up on what happened when Romulus got killed by a supernova, because that was in the movie, 11 years ago, and it's just never followed up on. So it's cool to see that. It's cool to see more Borg, but it feels like, hey, it's Star Trek The Next Generation. Let's get Picard. Let's get Riker. Let's get the Borg. Let's get, like, all the... It feels like the fan service pylon that made some of the new Star Wars movies not so great. But on the other hand, some of the fan service stuff is what worked best in Discovery, because they found ways to not really make it super pandering, which I was surprised at, because they're not always the most delicate or subtle writers. So I really have no idea which way this could go.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it and hope for the best.
Yeah, same.
It's kind of my plan.
I'm excited for it because I've had so much Star Wars on the mind. Like, I went through the saga. I watched the movie in theaters. I watched Mandalorian. I played Jedi Fallen Order. So I've been, like, so saturated by Star Wars, and I am so ready for Jean-Luc Picard to be a palate cleanser for my brain.
Yeah.
I need it. I need something new to think about, because I've seen the old stuff so much. I need to, like, invest. I need to get my brain active. I'm literally holding a stuffed porg right now, so, like, I gotta...
So wait, when does it actually come out? It's January, what, 20th?
23rd.
21st?
23rd. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get another short trek before then. The Girls from Mars.
The one where they're fighting in the playground and then they're holding hands.
Yeah, so I mean, might be fun. I don't know. Some of the short treks have been really fun. The H. John Benjamin one with the Tribbles.
So I really enjoyed that short trek. I have to say, I listened to The Greatest Discovery, and I'm not as big a fan as an Edward Larkin as I am of a Drunk Shimoda. And so, like, I kind of wish that they'd made it its own thing.
It surprised me. It still surprises me when in the show, instead of saying pick your Drunk Shimoda, they say pick your Edward Larkin.
Me too.
I'm still not used to it because it's so new. I know I will get used to it, but I'm here for it because I'm an H. John Benjamin stan. I love him and everything he does. I love hearing his voice.
Really great.
And it's one of those things where, like, when The Wrath of Khan is still considered the best Star Trek movie, what happened with Wrath of Khan was the first one did so poorly, and it was written by Gene Roddenberry, that they were like, we need some new blood. So they hired a guy who does not like Star Trek, and he made the best Star Trek movie. Yeah. And he shaped Star Trek forever. And I'm just like, I want more of these things that seem like they don't belong.
Right.
Bob's Burgers doesn't feel like it belongs in Star Trek, but it feels so good once it's there. Yep. In Common Briefing Program, we were talking about Knives Out by Rian Johnson, who did Star Wars 8.
Don't tell me anything about it, because I really still want to go see it, and I'm upset because Charles and I were going to try to go today, and then it was football playoffs, and he wouldn't go with me.
Ugh. That stinks. It's a movie you need to see as soon as possible, because we got to talk about it. Do not listen to Briefing Program. Okay. Because we go very in depth. Knives Out, great movie. And after watching that and watching Star Wars, which I liked his Star Wars movie, I'm like, wait, fuck, can Rian Johnson do Star Trek? Like, please, he's so good at it. Everything he takes, he just blows it up and puts it together in a way you don't quite expect. And Knives Out is so good.
That's awesome. Yeah, fuck, I'm really excited.
But Picard, I think that's maybe the biggest thing on my radar this month. I gotta start reading books again. We talked about reading the Sawbones book. Do you want to try to do that before the next episode? Because I finished.
Totally forgot about them.
I finished V for Vendetta and medallion status. I finished those books. So I mean, do you want to see if we can read that before our next recording?
Yeah. I mean, why don't we, like, my track record with reading quickly is absolutely shot to shit, but if you want to say, like, we read like a couple chapters, or at least like maybe half the book or something.
Yeah, like make it as far as we can sort of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's revisit that.
Okay.
That'd be a fun thing, even if it's not always books, something to come back from.
Yeah.
Because, Letterkenny was such a bust. New Letterkenny came out. It was really good, really funny. You wouldn't think it's funny because you hate comedy, apparently.
Right. That's true. Actually, I do hate comedy. You're right.
But yeah, that'll be good. No, cool. So I'll read that book. Yeah. I still think I'm going to try to do the thing where I read 10 books this year. I want to do piano again because I totally skipped on that goal last year. I'm thinking I might just say, like, learn 5 Debussy pieces because I like Debussy, and I'm like,
me too.
I'm pretty comfortable with his style.
You should check out, he has something called the Children's Corner, I think. Hold on.
I've learned, I know Dr. Parnassus ad Gradum. I learned that when I was in college.
Yeah.
And that's the only piece from the Children's Corner I've learned. But that would be a good suite because some of those are pretty big, but some of those are also pretty small.
Yeah. And they're all just really beautiful.
They're really beautiful. They got some really fun ones in there, too. He has some stuff that, like, literally sounds like it came from a carnival. And you're like, this is the Claire de Lune guy? What? Who commissioned that one?
Yeah. Well, got to diversify.
Yeah.
My, like, newish thing that I've been doing, I guess, Charles got me Luigi's Mansion 3 for Christmas.
Nice.
And I finally started playing, like, 2 weeks ago or something. Mm-hmm. And, like, last night when I was feeling sad and on the couch, I, like, picked it up and I was like, oh, I'll play for, like, half an hour. Mm-hmm. And then I played for, like, 2.5 hours instead. And I was like, nice.
That feels good.
That's been fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to think I might try to bring my Switch to work. There are Xboxes there, so I can, like, play some of my games there. I don't like to play shooters there because there's lag on the TV and it's a busted up controller and it's not I'm a snob basically, so I won't play on their peasant hardware.
Right.
But
makes sense.
I say that and I don't even use a PC, so what the fuck. Yeah, it's on the Switch. Like, I know you don't have Game Pass on Xbox, but it's on the Switch. Wander Song, which I keep telling you about.
Yeah, you do.
Like, if you want another game that you can just pick up for, like, a couple hours, it is so your style. Like, there are some characters in that game that I feel like I'm texting you when I'm reading their text bubbles on the screen. You just play a little bard, you just sing the whole time. I'm having fun with it, too, because I'm kind of a music snob as well, so I'm, like, catching all the little subtle things they're doing that most people wouldn't notice. But it's a fun, colorful, vibrant little game.
Yeah.
But I haven't been touching my Switch. I'm starting to think I should bring it into work. Maybe finally get through Breath of the Wild because I've only played a couple hours of that.
Yes, do it. I love Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. The only thing that just stops me, though, is, like, all these little games that I want to play on Switch, I can usually get them on Xbox for cheaper or with the Game Pass subscription. And then the big games that are on the Switch are always going to be $60, and, like, they never really go on significant sale. It's just hard for me to really get my foot in that door, which is
I mean, I played well over $60 worth of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I've been finding enough stuff on Xbox to, like, be happy with. I just started playing Hellblade as well, which is, like, a dark, creepy little action game based on Norse mythology, and the center of the game is the depiction of psychosis. And when you play it with headphones, they do a very good job of making you feel, like, distraught and insane, but using that as a tool for exploration and character. It's a weird line that they thread. But
sounds creepy.
It is. It's it's definitely a little creepy. So yesterday I played a few hours of that and then a few hours of Wander Song, so it balanced out.
Nice.
A little cartoony game about a bard singing to everybody. I don't know. Maybe I should. Yeah. Breath of the Wild feels like a must.
You should play Breath of the Wild.
It is really good. I remember when it first came out, I was like, it's just Skyrim light. But when I picked it up for the first time, I was like, oh, this is...
Yeah, no,
it is different. There is something accessible and kind of special about this. But I've put maybe 3 or 4 hours into it. I should definitely put more.
Speaking of Skyrim light, so remember the day that I bought Skyrim because I really wanted to?
Yes. Have you played it at all?
No, I loaded up the game and I got through character creation. I spent an hour on that.
Yeah.
And then I got to the part where you're getting your head chopped off and the dragon flies over and it crashed my Xbox and I literally did not open it after that.
No.
I got a refund through Xbox.
Okay, that's fair.
I actually went through and I was like, I'm never gonna play this.
Ah.
So I went and I got a refund for it.
Damn, those are some of my fucking favorites. Like Skyrim is done to death. It's up there for game of the decade in terms of influence. It's so mainstream that everybody knows it. And the hardcore RPG players just want to poo-poo on it for a lot of reasons. But I will tell you, playing Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind, those 3 games, it feels good to invest in that franchise because it is...
Yeah.
You want to talk about consistent writers. The folks at Star Trek Discovery couldn't make 14 episodes hang together. The amount of shit I've read in those games that is so internally consistent, come on. There's a way to do
impressive,
it.
yeah.
Morrowind was made by 20 people in a basement on card tables, and it's a greater work of writing than most books.
Yeah.
That's probably not true, but great game.
Well, considering how many books are out there, probably most books.
Okay, I'll take those odds. All I'm saying, and Skyrim is the easiest to get into. You, Laura, you should not just pick up Morrowind. It is an RPG from 2002, so it is not accessible, at all. There's no, waypoints don't exist, for one, which is, a hard thing to deal with nowadays. Instead of the game saying, go over here, or even what Assassin's Creed does now, which I like, which is very D&D-ish, you can set Assassin's Creed to say, don't tell me exactly where to go, just give me hints. And it mimics something in Morrowind that works, where in Morrowind, you don't, because it's not just pointing and telling you where to go, someone will say, hey, you have to go north and hang a right at this mountain or whatever.
Right.
And at first I was like, this is fucking obnoxious. But then it got to the point where I was like, oh shit, I know the names of all these places and I know my way around everything.
Yeah.
And weirdly, Breath of the Wild captures that same thing, where I feel like knowing the world and caring about your surroundings, is important to it. It's not just a game that's go here, go here, go here.
No, not at all. You definitely want to explore and know what you're doing.
So, Skyrim is very much a point and go here sort of game.
Yeah.
But it is an excellent entry point into a really wonderful series.
Yeah.
But I know how busy you are. And
it just didn't.
I spent 500 hours in Skyrim.
Damn.
That's not even a lot. I spent more than that in Destiny. But for a single player RPG, I beat everything in the game twice, including all the DLC stuff.
Yeah.
And that was about 500 hours. So I don't think you will have the time to maybe get that much out of it.
No, I won't.
But if you find yourself with 500 hours to spare.
Yeah.
I got a game for you. No, they're very good. I'm glad I don't know. I guess when I think about it, they might not be the games for you just because of the commitment.
Yeah.
But they are very good if you ever decide to give them a chance. But by that same token, I need to do Breath of the Wild.
I played Skyrim for a little while, way back in the day, and I did really enjoy it. It's just I got stuck because I had to go through one particular area where I wasn't proficient enough mechanically to get through the pass.
I'm gonna guess it was
or whatever.
It was either something very middle of the game called Blackroot, which is hard no matter how leveled you are, or I'm thinking of a point early in the game where you just have to go through a cave and there's a troll, and that troll's a real pain in the ass.
It wasn't that. Okay. It wasn't a troll.
Because if you quit at that troll, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. No, it was something really stupid that I couldn't find my way around, and it's probably because I was trying to just follow the main quest when I wasn't quite level for it.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing some of the side stuff. But I don't know, I just kind of give up.
I remember when I first played Oblivion. Oblivion was such a fucking game changer when it came out because for a lot of technical reasons. If you shoot an arrow in the wall, it doesn't just disappear. It stays at that point in the world. There was a lot they did to make the world not really more reactive, but more stable. So I was so excited for this huge open world, but I hadn't played a lot of RPGs. I'd played a little bit of Morrowind, but I never owned it, so I didn't really get the gist of what these games were.
Yeah.
It was 2008. I bought Oblivion. I beat the main quest. Said that was a good game, and then I sold it. And then a few months later, I was like, wait, no, that's not the point. There's so much more. So
yeah,
I get just following the main quest to the detriment of the game.
Yeah.
I've made that mistake in probably the most stupid, grandiose way you could.
Brutal.
Yeah, good game though.
I do think it's about time for me to wrap this up and go pick up my groceries and
then
maybe take a nap before dinner.
No, that's totally fair. We made it a little further than I expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna start reading the Sawbones book, and I'll follow up with you on that. And I think, yeah, for 2020, I'm going to try to also focus on some more piano stuff and podcast stuff, and I will probably keep you apprised of that. And you can either hold me accountable or shrug and say, I don't care, that was your dumb decision. Stop eating Chipotle and falling asleep.
That depends entirely on my mood for that day, I think so.
That's very fair. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
It's very nice to talk to you. We got to play games again soon.
I know. Charles got me a headset for Christmas for my Xbox because my other ones all shit the bed and they were really terrible anyway.
Nice.
And I've been really excited to play with them. And then I got the stomach flu, and then I got this, and then I've been working a lot.
Stomach flu.
And
I don't even think I heard about that one.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I threw up every hour for like 24 straight hours.
At least you always know what time it is.
Yeah, it was really cute. I had a doctor's appointment that I couldn't miss also, so I like hauled my ass to the doctor and like was waiting in the exam room. Like literally, it was so pathetic. I was curled up on top of the exam room. Like I put my jacket over me and I just closed my eyes. And she came in, she was like, "How are you?" And I was like, "Not good." Not good at all.
That's so sad.
Oh, it was so miserable.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, get your
I did
stuff.
hold out this long to get sick, so I guess like January's not terrible though.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. Well, hey, next month's a big one. We'll have read books. We'll have seen the first new
Picard.
Patrick Stewart Star Trek since 2002.
Fuck.
Yeah, 18 years since Nemesis came out.
That's wild.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I really don't know. I don't know. As a Star Trek fan, I don't like that all the people are like, Disco needs to be like the old shows. I'm like, no, do something new. I've seen the old shows, but I think they got to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll got to...
It needs to have... So I really like Disco, but I do feel like it's missing something of the soul of the shows, like the older shows. And I think that part of that is because they're going for this like bigger, more grandiose feel. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think the episodes that really work so far have been the ones that drill in on a character. The Ariam episode, Sound of Thunder, where Saru evolves and you find out his whole backstory with the Baul.
Yeah.
Like, those work well. The grand scale ones, they're just kind of muddy. And then when the point of the season doesn't add up, it's just like you're only left realizing how much you didn't care about those things.
Yeah.
It's fun, but I'm hoping that some stronger writing will
help it out.
Elevate.
To be fair, like since when was the first and second seasons of any Star Trek show the best? So there's hope.
That's kind of my thing. I've heard the counterpoint where it's like the problem with Discovery is like season 3 needs to change what the show is, not just improve on it. Which I don't totally agree with that. I really think that if they maybe didn't have showrunner drama,
it might be fine.
I don't know. We'll never know, but I think that could help. But
yeah, well, we'll see.
We will see, man. Hey, listeners, if you tune in next month and you don't care about Star Trek Picard,
maybe don't listen.
Maybe skip an episode. I don't know how much it's gonna be. But Laura was in an episode of Dice Populi called Blessings Eve, and it was very good. She did a great job.
It was fun.
And brought a lot to the table, so you should check that out.
That was actually a lot of fun.
It was.
I made myself listen to the episode, and I actually enjoyed listening to it.
You did?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, I need it. This is a bit of a self-serving question here, and then I'll let you go. Did you feel at all emotional at the end with the music?
I'm a cold, heartless person.
Ah, damn it.
I mean, it was, I very much enjoyed the arc. I feel like it was not something, because I was still feeling like I can't get emotional over something that I was a part of in that way, right?
No, I very much get that. I have a problem where when I'm listening to episodes, I can't focus on the edit sometimes because I'm so paranoid about the music.
Yeah.
So like, I get it. If there's something in there that you are critical of, it overrides everything.
Yeah.
But everyone that's talked to me about the episode said you were great. So
thanks. Yay.
And with that, I'm going to let you go actually be great and stop dying. So you go, please be healthy. Please be well.
Just in case anyone's wondering, I had 3 Ricolas while we were recording this episode.
And you didn't sing it once. Not once. That's fine.
I have to sing it next time when I'm actually feeling like I could.
I'll hold you to it.
All
right, Laura. I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
How You Doing is a Common Geeking Program production starring Laura Becker and Colin Ketchen, with editing and original music by Colin. You can learn all about the show at the website podfriend.pizza. It has everything you need to listen and to learn about the PodFriends themselves, and it's an easy place for new listeners to jump on board. If you enjoy the podcast, reviews and ratings are the best way to show it. Tell a friend, share your favorite episodes, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We'll talk to you again the first Monday of every month, so be sure to stay in touch. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
CommonGeekingProgram.com.
I need to do something really stupid.
Yes.
The grocery store just called me and left a message about my order that I have to go pick up soon.
Go for it.
I'm going to listen to the voicemail real quick and see if I have to call them back.
That's totally fine.
Sorry. I have to call them back real quick. It's very important about yogurts and jalapenos. Hi, Erica. This is Laura. I just got your message about my order to pick up today between 4 and 5. It sounds, yeah, I actually, so the banana cream yogurt is fine. You can just leave that off. That's not a problem. The chicken pot pie, totally fine. For the carrots, I probably only need 1 pound. That's fine. So just the 1 package. Cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll be there soon. Thank you. Bye.
This is going to be post-credits.
It's going to be really exciting.